Hey, it's me your brother, and let's have some fun today. First things first, starting off with more of Macrom's mod on this dank custom track, which if you didn't know is created by me. I have to mention this because I know some people got confused and thought Tyler made the track because of how much he's been trying to milk it, and despite him mentioning the creator in the video, it isn't enough to stop those kinds of people. I guess that's a lesson for me to learn next time. Engrave my damn signature in the track itself like I did with that other giant gaping hole map. With that said, you may have already seen this first game since Tyler used up every single game we played on this map, so after this repeat you'll see some new footage on some other tracks instead, cause playing on this map was more of a for fun thing rather than a real tower showcase, which we are going to be doing for this video. The lack of space for towers on this map makes it kind of hard to showcase things. The tower in particular is this guy. Again, I don't have an official name for it as it either doesn't exist or I'm too lazy to look up whatever Macrom named it, so I'll go ahead and call it what I want. Big blue hunk of metal. So what the big blue hunk of metal does is shoot out blue things, and these blue things pop balloons and do damage to them. Oh yeah, they also freeze them. Actually, you know what, now that I think of it, big blue hunk of metal isn't that great a name. So let's call it the Sciro ice turret instead, cause that's kind of what it looks like it is. It shoots out flames of ice in rapid succession. Pretty dank, but not quite as dank as the Super Jabombo skirt. I know I'll be getting a couple of those for Christmas. But yeah, about the Sciro turret at hand, it's a little pricey at $875 and it doesn't seem all that powerful either. At least compared to some of the other towers I've seen on this mod so far. Speaking of other towers, if I know my 1-2-3s correctly, then this is the third tower showcase from a mod that I've done, the first one being the Fire and Ice Tower followed up by the Ice Wizard. And just an interesting thought, all three of these towers have something in common. They are all a bunch of pixels. How coincidental is that? Anyways, what I actually wanted to say regarding other towers is the question of what tower do you guys want me to cover next. I'm not going to list them all out here or anything, but you should have a feel for what kinds of towers there are based on these games. Like the Tornado Factory, the Balloon Trap, and everything else. Let me know what you want to see the most, or rather what you want me to talk about. Cause it's not like the Sciro turret is 100% of the whole gameplay, you know what I mean. So leave a comment below please and thank you, the more comments the better. Now let's get back to the showcase with the first tier upgrades. Even though it won't sync up with the pace of the video at all, I'll worry about that when the sun stops rising. So here are the upgrades. They are pretty damn basic to start off. Left side just increases the range and attack speed of the turret for 550, nothing special here. And the right side, pierce and cutoff distance are increased instead. $700. Resident Sleeper, let's move on to the second tier cause it's not worth discussing the first upgrades by itself. So the left side second tier called Long Freezing costs $600 and it essentially gives your Sciro turret an ice tower permafrost effect, where all balloons affected by the freezing are slowed by a certain percentage when they get thawed out. Kind of expected from any tower ice related, to be honest, just like how any fire related tower will eventually be able to inflict napalm and every earth related tower will be able to Hulk smash the balloons. I'm talking out of my ass right now if you can't tell. On the second tier right side we got Piercing Ice, where $1,400 gets you pierce, attack speed and spread. I'm not sure what spread means in this context. It kind of sounds like cutoff distance, but I'm kind of inclined to believe it increases its projectile's width of effect, aka thickness. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but from the eye test it seems it makes no difference. Anyway, first thoughts on the Sciro turret, it sucks ass, which you can see from the title name. I expected a lot more from the tower considering its upgrades were pretty pricey, but needless to say I was left quite underwhelmed when I found out it can't even hold its own. Plus the turret footprint is fat as hell, which meant I could barely fit any of those in on the labyrinth track. 4 is the maximum, 1 for each big island. But I was better off building better and smaller towers, cause if the second tiers were pretty bad, let me tell you it isn't going to get much better. Even on a map like Bloons circles where I can spam these things left and right and up and down. Rather, you can see me pouring all my money into the Tornado Spike Factory instead, cause that shit is broken as hell. Now I don't want to talk about it too much here in case I decide to do a tower showcase on it later down the road, but my goodness, just think pre-4.1 chipper ability except 1,000 times more powerful. Basically the ability can send every balloon back in the track, including blips, so get enough of them and needless to say they'll be flying around the map like headless chickens. Anyways, I should talk about the Sciro turrets tier 3s now that I've got one of them up. Let me just do the right side first actually. This illusional ice upgrade is pretty pricey and it changes your turret to shoot slower. Although each projectile now appears to explode outwards into 16 different ice flames which then meet again in the middle. Really weird projectile pattern that I never would have thought about seeing even in a custom mod. As for how strong it is, I really can't tell. I'm way too scared to build a map full of only these cause I know I can't rely on them for its price. This thing costs nearly $9,000 according to my calculations. Now it does seem to be doing a decent amount of work, but as I said, on mods like these just average doesn't cut it. All these towers have to be a step up from classic ones or they won't be able to handle the added difficulty of the AI Bloons. So what the 4th tier ability does is spawn some bloonberry bushes as well as some periodically around the track, and from what I could tell from that game it looks like complete hot garbage, like damn son. It's really just a pretty looking spike factory, but with a big price tag attached. I'd be better off spending that money on some Moab defense cause that was the death of me there. So I've come more prepared this time with the modded Ninja Tower, because Moabs aren't the Tornado Factory's specialty, and apparently it isn't the Sciro's either. I guess all it's good for is popping and stalling balloons, but even then there are exponentially better options like the Ice Wizard and Fire and Ice Tower. Because of all that, I'm going to give it the title of worst tower ever at the moment, at least until I come across another tower in this mod that sucks donkey dick. Looks like Tyler and I covered nearly all of them though, so the title is here to stand. Alrighty. Probably a good time to talk about the final 2 left side upgrades now to finish up the showcase. The 3rd tier left side is fairly straightforward. Double barrels means the Sciro ice turret shoots twice as much and does 2 times as much damage, all for $2,250. Finally a worthwhile upgrade, but only because its earlier upgrades are so expensive that $2,250 becomes a damn bargain. That is all. Lastly comes the 4th tier upgrade, and that low $3,500 price tag is not a good sign because it probably means the upgrade sucks / is underwhelming. I'd say it's both. The Sciro turret now adds a 3rd cannon, and this one apparently permanently freezes balloons, although that doesn't seem very helpful since it's likely you'll have towers that need to pop balloons, and so they unfreeze it right after. I assume this upgrade makes the number of turrets go from 2 to 3 rather than 2 to 6 when you triple it, and if I'm correct on that then you're essentially paying a little over $1,000 for a near useless effect. Moral of the story, kids, just avoid this tower at all costs. Not even a Black Friday deal can save this Sciro turret cause it's just so bad, especially versus Moab class balloons, and it's horribly space inefficient to boot. There's a good reason I'm barely using it in these matches, and even with how little I'm using it, it's still enough to handicap me pretty hard in terms of stunting my eco growth and thus not allowing me to get up enough of these tornado factories. I guess I should explain this game mode for those of you who are potentially confused right now. It's called Lunatic Overdrive, and apparently it's supposed to be the ultimate game mode to test your skills, with 1 life only and over triple the balloon speed. One life ain't an issue anymore though, as you can see, since I got that banana life farm to give me a nice safety cushion. It's also not quite the ultimate challenge I envisioned, because there's 2 towers that pretty much ruin the game mode, lol, the ninja with its 99% slow ability, and the tornado factory ability that blows everything back. Spam those 2 and you've created a near infinite loop on paper. In reality, you'll probably want to commit Sudoku if you had to press 2 buttons for 8 hours straight. I'm glad I didn't have the funds to afford that. So that'll do for today, ladies and gents. Like the video and subscribe for free sex. From Tyler, of course. I ain't giving anyone anything for free. Except these videos. Have an adequate day.